What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Sunday. You know it's a Sunday fun day around here. February 4th, 2024, little 02042024, twos and fours and zeros, all up in your face. All right. Now I got the craziness out of my system. We can get back to football. Sorry. It's a little early. I'm a little hungover. Plus, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of Hell Week. It starts Wednesday, so we're not in the middle, but we're getting geared up. Hell Week is my wife's birthday on Wednesday, our anniversary on Friday, and then Valentine's the following Wednesday. This is my Hell Week. Happens every year. For the last 15 years or so. I don't know who's counting at this point. So pray for me. But on the bright side, check out the video vault. It is up and running. Launched it last week on Friday, actually, officially. Got some guys already signed up. Guys, gals, let's get in there. Check it out. The link is in the show description. If you're listening on podcasts, it's there as well. And you can also find it just by going to thebuckeyecast.com and click on Video Vault right at the top of the page. Check it out. It's got all your highlight videos, all the things you can't find on YouTube with no ads. Sign up for that free trial. Get 3 days free on me. Stand on me. And check it out. See if it's worth it. All right. Let's get into it. We're talking corners. B.I.A. B.I.A. is in the HOUSE. I can't spell too many more things today. It hurts my brain. Get a little headache. All right, let's do it here. Don't forget tonight, Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, me, Jeff, and Sean, assuming they both show up. We'll see. But we'll be talking about all things Buckeye football. Let's talk B.I.A. right now, though. The best cornerback group in the nation last year. And as always, you got Denzel Burke, IGB, Jordan Hancock, all coming back. Carrying that B.I.A. torch. But this freshman class of corners, they're about to take that torch and run with it. The Buckeyes have started a true freshman corner in at least one game each of the last 3 seasons. Let me say that again. Ohio State has started a true freshman corner in at least one game each of the last 3 years. So let's see if there's 4 years in a row. Buckeyes brought in 3 corners in this 2024 recruiting class. All 3 are currently enrolled, came in early, so they're participating in winter workouts, spring ball, all the fun stuff. So jealous. Not really. So Tim Walton, the OG, out here slaying fools on the recruiting trail. He landed the in-state studs, Aaron Scott, and Bryce West. Aaron Scott from Springfield, Ohio. So one corner, and then Bryce West, the other corner from the corners of the state. Walt did go to Arizona to get Miles Lockhart, the slot corner. Ryan Day talked about him during the early signing day interview with him. He said, quote, I think Tim has done a great job identifying talent early on and building relationships. And then going from there, I think you're seeing the way that our corners are playing. You're seeing Denzel, IGB, Jordan Hancock playing to that high low. And I think it's a big part of the recruiting process, seeing it on the field in Jim Knowles' defense. And so we've identified these guys early on and recruited the heck out of them. Yes, you did. And we're continuing that into 2025 with Coach Walton. So no surprise. So let's start with Aaron Scott here. The big man, 6'2", 190, got the length. Out of Springfield, as I mentioned. He was the 5-star, a 9.835, number 36 player in the country, and number 6 corner, number 1 player in the great state of Ohio. If you remember, that did come down to a Ohio State-Michigan battle. Again, I don't know where Michigan's DB's coaches are out on the trail right now. They're MIA, but it doesn't break my heart. But he chose the Buckeyes over Michigan. Aaron Scott did. Walton targeted him early, made him a priority, and put him through a workout at a June camp on campus in 2022 to see what Aaron Scott was made of, if he was going to fold or if he's going to stand up to the pressure. Ryan Day talked about that with Aaron Scott. He said, quote, Aaron Scott was somebody who came to camp early on, and it was a hot day out there, and he grinded. I mean, went for, I think, an hour, and just everything we threw at him as a young player. He had a broken wrist. He kept working. And then we could tell there was a toughness there, that there was just a grit there. He wanted to earn that scholarship, and he did that day. He built himself up into a really, really good football player. So love to see that. As strong words from the head coach, and taking notice of a midsummer camp, back in 2022. Next up, Bryce West. Let's talk about him. 5'11", 177 out of Cleveland Glenville. The pipeline is open. He was a high 4-star, though, not far off of Aaron Scott's tail here. He was a 9.690, nationally ranked number 64 player in the class, and number 9 corner, number 2 player in the state of Ohio. So right behind Aaron Scott, of course. He chose Ohio State over Michigan as well. So that's 0 for 2 cheaters. Played at Glenville for Ted Ginn Sr., of course. So Tim Walton offered him at the end of his sophomore year. Like Aaron Scott, Bryce West was a blue chip prospect. Ryan Day said this about Bryce West. He said, quote, Bryce West, same type of thing. Again, Coach Ginn early on believed in this young man and said, this guy is going to be a great player. And so we recruited him, but then offered him pretty early in the process. You could just see the way he played that next year. He was much more aggressive. He was tackling, making plays, and he just continued to become a better football player. And you know what you're getting when you get somebody out of Glenville. Yes, you do. So the Buckeyes have 3 former Glenville tar blooders. That's hard to say, tar blooders. They need to come up with a better team name. Anyways, the Buckeyes have 3 former Glenville players on the roster this year with West. You got tight end Demarion Witten and linebacker Arvell Reese. He's a sophomore. Ryan Day said this about the Glenville pipeline. He said, quote, I've got to give Coach Ginn so much credit for the way he develops young men there, and they understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And that matters. Arvell Reese has come in and worked his tail off. I'm really excited about these guys, and Bryce West is going to be the next one. Look at what he's done in track and field, the times that he's put down. 10.5, 700 meters, a 6.81, 60 meters. Just what a great player. So for the third guy, Coach Walton had to go out to Arizona. I'm sure that was a terrible trip. I would hate to go to Arizona, especially in the wintertime. But he said, anyway, Arizona's kind of becoming a pipeline for the Buckeyes. There were 6 Arizona players on Ohio State's 2023 roster. And in the secondary alone, you had Denzel Burke and Lathan Ransom. In this 2024 class, Tim Walton brought in Miles Lockhart. He becomes another member of the secondary from Arizona. B.I.A High School out in Chandler, Arizona, coming in at 5'10", 185. Lockhart was a 8'9", 5'8". He was a top 400 guy. I think he was poorly ranked by these 24/7 and other recruiting services. They got him ranked at number 35 corner in the class, number 9 player in Arizona, but I don't agree with that. Ryan Day said about Miles Lockhart, he said, Miles is a corner that I actually saw play live. He's going to be a nickel for us as well. Miles is extremely competitive, fits to what Jim Knowles wants right there at that nickel position. He can also move out to corner, but a really nasty, tough player. I like that. Denzel Burke talked about Arizona recruits and what they bring. They bring their own special brand of football to the squad. Burke said last month about Miles Lockhart, He said, quote, "It's Arizona, man. We got some type of dog to us, some type of grit to us." So I guess you can say a lot of Arizona recruits and kids were kind of looked at as underdogs. We're not really the ones who are the first choices that colleges are coming to look at, but we have something to us, man. We want to put on for our city and our state, and there's not many of us in the league. So looking back, Buckeyes return, like I said, Denzel Burke, IGB, Jordan Hancock. Don't forget about Jermaine Matthews. He had 194 snaps last year, played in every game except one. He had 13 tackles. Don't forget about the 58-yard pick six, and he had 3 passes defended. Calvin Simpson Hunt, redshirted. He only put in 23 snaps last year, but so most likely these true freshmen aren't going to see much action. But again, like I said, the Buckeyes have started a true freshman corner in one game at least the last 3 years. So, and if it doesn't happen, the competition's only going to make this cornerback room better, though. Jim Knowles said this to wrap up. He said about the cornerback class, quote, "Yeah, I think the corners are premier talents. I really do. I think that they've come a long way in the secondary in 2 years. And I think these guys have even helped raise our level. I think they will come in right away and push everyone, kind of like Davison did. Davison made us better. He ended up starting, but just when he arrived on campus, he made us better because he pushed everybody else. He challenged everybody else. And I think that's what those young men, those young corners will do. I mean, they're really talented, and it's going to help us keep growing and keep competing." So love to hear it. Love the words from the coaches. Very encouraging. And these 3 guys, can't wait to see them in action. Let's see if they can crack a 2 deep here or get some spot duty here and there for the starters. But hell of a class with these 2024 corners. That's all I got for you today. Don't forget, hit thebuckeyecast.com. Check out the video vault. And we'll talk to you tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Go Bucks.